on April 7th, 2022. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing is to be taken as direct trading or investment advice, as usual. Saul will be joining us. We'll go through the morning session together. He'll be your wingman. This is called Trade Along Live with Saul. Saul is actively scalping the market. He's a 25-year veteran of the trading pits in Chicago. He runs this Trade Along Live session. He also provides trading education for those that are looking. So let us know. Saul can take you under his wing. He can mentor you and train you. The goal here is how to help you develop consistent profitability. Saul is a price action trader. He looks to do 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. He'll be doing the same this morning. Saul is going to provide a trade along environment here. He's going to give out key levels to set the table for the morning session. These are levels that he has learned to produce, learned to put together over his many years of trading. These are the levels that he utilizes in his own trading as a opportunity and a trading advantage to him as he trades and scalps the morning session. He's going to give out his pivot and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. He's going to give them out to you in audio first, and then they'll be written or transcribed in the chat area of our service. Don't hesitate to ask questions. We've got a nice group of people in here that are here on a daily basis as subscribers, so welcome aboard. We have guests coming in. Welcome, guests. For those that want to bring people in or come in, it's tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. Interact with Saul during the morning session. Use the chat feature, or to interact with Saul during the morning session, use the chat feature. There's a lot that goes on here, both publicly and privately, so be part of the action. First order of business is to write down Saul's trading levels for the morning session. Pivot, price, levels on top and bottom of that pivot. He calls support and resistance. Price is maybe 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. Hey, Yari, welcome. Hey, Yari, did you sign up for Saul's Friends and Family? His subscription, let me know. Hey, Philip, how are you? Norman, welcome. Norman, I think this is your first day. Let us know back in chat. And Norman, can you hear? Just let me know if you can hear us. Oh, welcome aboard. Hey, Michael, welcome. KG, James. Hey, James, any status change on your joining Saul in his course? He was asking me the other day. Glenn, Edward. Hey, Carl. Anupam. I'll send out the discounted opportunity for individuals to sign up. I'll do that now. It's usually $3.99 a month. Right now it's on for $150, which is a great deal for you. If you take the 3 months, it's only $400, which is a great deal. It's the same price as 1 month. So check that out in the chat area. Hey, Pat, how are you, Pat? Welcome aboard. And if you have somebody that would like to come in, it's tradealonglive.com. If you want to check out the website, it's tradealongtradingacademy.com. Yeah, James, I just know if you had accomplished that already, but good luck with your move. Yara, let me know what you're doing. I just sent you the link. I sent it in the chat area. Harold, welcome. Zahurl, how are you today? Hey, Ron. Richard. Hey, Glenn. Johnny Z's in the house. Hey, Johnny. Norman, welcome. Good morning. Put up an S&P 500 E-mini chart. This is Trade Along with Saul. Saul will be joining us shortly. He's going to give out this morning's levels. We'll go through the morning session together. Saul gives out his key proprietary scalping levels as a guide for the morning session.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can everybody hear me all right? Let's give you our levels here really quick. Our pivot this morning is 44.65. Support below at 57, 45, 31, 24. Resistance on the upside at 75, 84, 90, 97. Pivot 65, resistance at 75, 84, 90, and 97. Support below at 57, 45, 31, and 24. All right. Market here kind of dealing with the sentiments from the FOMC minutes and how the Fed is going to deal with the balance sheet, which was a big point of conversation yesterday, and that release of the minutes, and but the market's dealing with it pretty well. Once it came out, the market's kind of just, it did its usual thing. It went crazy, and you had no idea which way it was going, or rallied, and finally decided to settle in kind of the middle of that range. But bonds, as you can see here, continue to downtick. Always a concern as far as we're concerned these days, because we have to watch what's happening with that market to affect us. Right now, we're still looking about 3 or 4 points, anywhere between 2 to 4, depending on your risk tolerance. I think we could be okay with the 4 points at this point. If we start breaking down to the downside, then we have to be concerned a little bit more and expand it. Obviously, if you were trading FOMC yesterday afternoon, you definitely needed to expand to, well, obviously, if you were trading, hopefully you weren't, but if you were, you can see how the volatility was created, and you have to expand your a lot as we come up here to the 75 area. Got up here to 74. Hopefully some of you maybe got in there against that and getting a nice little rotation against it. Listen, we're scaling into a level, right? We can't be perfect, so we're scaling in. Got right up to 74 and a quarter there and popped back down. Hopefully you were able to take advantage of that. If you got to 75, just use that. Well, we're even then. We're smack dab even. All right. So we bounced off of the 74. Again, we are trading many S&Ps here. Obviously, you have to scale in. I mean, we've been talking about that for a while now because of the volatility, and we're not going to be perfect. Got right up to 74 and a quarter and bounced off. And then with the volatility the way it is, scaling in a point and a half away from a level and above a level is not uncommon. And if that's too much for you, then that's okay. Just if you're just trading one lots, then just stay with the one lots. And if you had it at 75, adjust it just a little bit, maybe up to the 76 area. If we, well, it's a little bit riskier, but just keep your stops in place no matter what. You always have to adjust the risk, and you always have to adjust to the price action on any given day. Those are two things that are vital to our trading. We obviously put together a trading methodology that incorporates, I should say, the levels that we just put out, in addition to the price action opportunities that are occurring once the market paints some bars. And the combination of both of those gives us our setups for the day. And that is what we trade off of. And we're looking for about 4 to 5 trades during the course of any day. And sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less, obviously. But we also focus on the morning hours for us to give us our biggest bang for our money. I think that we think that the dynamics of the morning play better for us than they do as the day goes on. The dynamics in the market changes as well. So we kind of focus more on the morning hours to give us our opportunities to trade. And that's why we're looking at about 4 to 5 trades a day. We talked about the risk involved against the 75 once we got up to 74. So this is why you are traders, and you can adjust. And you can also make sure that you keep your stops in place. That is a given in these markets for sure. So that is what we are doing here on an everyday basis. If any of this stuff interests you, please let us know. We do put together a trading methodology, a course that teaches our methodology, I should say. And we do that as part of our education course, in addition to this trading room that we offer. Anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We don't mind questions. We're coming up here, got up here to 81 and change. We got 84 as our next level of resistance on the upside. If you did trade yesterday and were trading during the number, you saw that the levels worked out kind of nice for us. They did have the highs and the lows there of those moves. It's just a matter of how you traded them, how you managed your risk during those moves. And there's really no right way or wrong way of doing that. All right, market continues to uptick here a little bit. Got right up to 82.5 there. Bounced off a little. Again, if you are trading and you see the market doing its thing, you can make adjustments to your entry points, cancel them even. You don't have to stay with a trade if you are uncomfortable with it, or if you see the price action change. And what we do in our education course is we help you understand when to make those adjustments and not to. All right. It's a nice little rotation here at the upside again. Market is kind of absorbing the after effects of the FOMC minutes that were released yesterday. And you see the volatility yesterday and the continuation a little bit here today. That's interesting. I always this calm. Yeah, I guess. I mean, unless you heard me screaming on the floor in the pit, yeah, I'm usually calmer. Right? There's nobody to scream at here. I mean, my orders are in place, and I just kind of let the market kind of do its thing. I have my stops in place, and that's about it. I mean, you know, like what else can I do here? Market's either gonna, you know, I did my homework before, so I'm done with that, and now I'm trying to see what the market's going to do when it comes to an opportunity to trade, and then just trade it according to what I see that the market's doing and telling me to do. All right, we're using the 84 here as another level of resistance, and we're getting a nice little rotation here, giving us our 2 points right now. And if you did scale in above, you're getting more than that, and getting a nice rotation here. If you have multiple contracts, you're obviously scaling out. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm adjusting my contract so I have a scale going, even though I'm calmly talking to you. Nice rotation there against the 84 level. Hopefully some of you were able to jump in. Again, if you're scaling in, probably got in at 83 maybe, and 85 maybe. If you didn't, if you just got in at 84, then you just did just good, very fine here. And getting a nice little rotation here is where you can take a little bit more than 3 or 4 points out of a trade, and just have a nice trailing stop. I would cover them down here at the 76, 75 area. If right now, I would probably cover some right there. This is a nice little trade there for you. And if you see the levels right there on the screen for you, and that's a nice rotation here against our 84 level. If I only knew we were going to tank 10 points in a half a minute, I would have told you. But I didn't know. All right, nice little rotation here against our, that's why I would have covered them right there at 75 if you had any left over. And this is a perfect example of how you can take more than, you know, we said 3 or 4 points on your stops. And this is one example of being able to take more than 3 or 4 points on your trade. And sometimes make up for those bad trades that you don't have discipline enough to take those 3 or 4 point stops. So kind of makes up for some of those bad trades. All right, nice trade there. If you did jump in against our 84 resistance right now, got a little support here at 70 if you are so inclined or wanted to get long. Email you. What do you need emailed there? Don doesn't really. We don't do emails. But if you need to text somebody and talk to somebody in here, then that's what you could do. And if you wanted to just to be to myself or Brad or even Don, you can just go to panelists instead of to everyone, and only we will see it. So in case you don't want everybody to see your what you input there. Okay, there you go. That has quantified it to 3 people who are. Well, there was Brad before, and Don is helps me out with our broadcast every now and then. Like tomorrow, he will be for sure. But he jumps in anytime. Anytime Don wants to say something, he's more than welcome to jump in and add his dues. Don has taken, a student of mine has taken our course and has been with me for many years. All right, let's see here. We did have initial claims come out this morning, which was a very low number. The lowest in like, I don't know, 50 years or something like that. That was a very good number as far as initial claims were concerned. They were expecting 200,000, came out at 166. Definitely a good number as far as the unemployment situation is concerned. Bullard also has been talking or is talking, and that's where some of the comments that were mentioned already in the room. And as far as any other fundamental news is concerned, we do have Fed speaks at 1 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, and at 3:30 today. So a couple after the close, and then later on, if you're trading in the afternoon there at 1 o'clock, Evans is talking. And these guys, as you can see these days, press is very interested in some of the comments, and the market is very interested in some of the comments that come through, as you can see. All FOMC members are in agreement that the Federal Reserve will have to adapt a faster pace in shrinking its balance sheet than it conducted during the 2017 to 19 period. Participants generally agreed that a monthly cap of about $60 billion for Treasury securities and about $35 billion for MBSs would likely be appropriate for the minutes from March 15th to 16th gathering. That means that the Fed could trim its roughly $9 trillion balance sheet by more than $1 trillion per year, while hiking rates expediently to fight the hottest inflation since, quickly to fight the hottest inflation since the early 80s. As the market continues to downtick here, nice push against now the downside support there is at 57. So that is our first downside support. And we'll see what happens from there. The process of reducing the balance sheet could start as early as next month. Participants are also generally agreed that the caps could be phased in over a period of 3 months or modestly longer if the market conditions warrant, the minutes revealed. Though some FOMC officials said that they wouldn't be comfortable they'd be comfortable with relatively high monthly caps or no caps. They also reaffirmed the balance sheet reduction should be done over time in a particularly manner, in a predictable manner, primarily by adjusting the amounts reinvested of principal payments received from securities. Meanwhile, many participants preferred a 50 basis point increase at the meeting in March, but a number of them judged a 25% hike would be more than appropriate due to the current greater near-term uncertainty resulting from the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Many of the FOMC members also said that a 150 basis point hike or more could be warranted if inflationary pressures stay high or intensify. U.S. equities slid for a second straight session on Wednesday amid fears that aggressive tightening could hurt economic growth and lead to a recession. I mean, the fact that they're even saying that is like ridiculous. That is the reason we went down yesterday, was because we opened up lower because they were afraid that the Fed was going to increase rates. Really? Like, that's not been going on forever? So you gotta love some of these people who try to figure out why the markets go up and down, tell you something that the market already is priced in. Oh, that's the reason. Market, we're gonna have interest rate hikes. Okay. That's the reason we went down yesterday. Okay. Whatever. I just read this stuff. I don't try to predict which way markets are going. All right, we already had a nice rotation there against the upper level there that we had. And now we're just slowly coming down. Yeah, sure you could. No problem. All right. Let's see if there's any. Oh, we talked about there's no other numbers coming out this morning, so that's okay. Just dealing with some of the conversations that some of the Fed officials are going to throw in. All right, we are a little bit of a range here. Okay. Sure, that'll work. That'll be fine. I've been around those guys that are screaming like, what's going on in the pit? Those boxes, and they He's funny. He's funny. Down in Texas, they come up with these like hilarious jokes. It's funny. It's all with drugs. Well, considering everybody saw that, it's funny. It's hilarious. All right. Let's see here. Again, we focus on the morning hours to give us our biggest bang for our money. We had a nice rotation, couple of nice trades that we talked about against the levels that we gave out. Now we're just kind of sidewinding here a little bit in this range. Well, now we've just kind of quieted down here a little bit. Yeah, he left there, Don. All right, so we're coming back up here to the highs. Next level of resistance we have is up at 90. All right, seem to have gotten ourselves back into a little bit of a range here. Next level of resistance we have is up at the 90 area. All right, trying to uptick here. We're looking at the 90 area as the next level of resistance. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. All right, well, the bond market here waking up. Again, bond market is definitely something just to keep an eye out on. Don't know if it's going to happen or if it's going to make a move with that bond market moves. Obviously, the bond market make a big move here, and we're kind of just, well, it's kind of just drifting back into this range. So very, very quiet kind of day. We had a lot of action early on, and then we just kind of pulled the plug here a little bit and got us back in a little bit of a range here. Take care there, Philip. Sorry about the funeral. Definitely not my favorite places to be at. Yeah, that is. They go in streaks, you know. It's disheartening at the very best. It's just they're tough, but I do understand. You get to some age here where you just can't avoid it. All right, we are. Yeah, yeah. All I gotta say is yeah. We are range bound here. It looks like. Again, patience is important. Talk about that all the time. All right. Again, we are range bound, as you can see, getting a little bit choppy around here. But patience is important. Waiting for the market to give you an opportunity. Always, again, it all depends on your risk tolerance and how much you want to trade. Obviously, there is obviously some other little trades in the middle of all of that. But again, it all depends on your risk tolerance and how aggressive you are versus somebody else. Not everybody trades the same. So you can see bond market also is a little jittery, and they're just bouncing back and forth as well. So they get a little short cover rally there for those weak shorts, and then they pop it right back down. Anybody who's interested in golf, biggest week in golf this week is Masters and Tiger's return. Should be fun to watch. I hope he does well. I mean, he's got a lot of personal issues. It's fine, but what he does for golf could be, just like Jack winning when he shouldn't have won. He was like quasi-retired or something. All right. Again, we are range bound here, so be a little bit patient. Downside support is down at the, 57 area. And upside, really, we don't have anything till 90. I know we're just kind of in the middle here, which kind of makes sense, actually. This is when things have quieted down quite a bit. All right. Well, both sides of our blue band, both sides of the middle of the range. Just have to, again, we cannot create the volatility. All we can do is trade it. So patience is important. Again, we could go either way here. We could rally, we could break. Don't really have much of an opinion. But patience is the one thing that we have to have. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. All right. Made some quick trades this morning, and then they just pulled a plug on us really quick. I thought we were going to have a good, busy day.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. Want to thank everybody for joining us today for this session of Trade Along Live with Sol. We're here trading days from 9 a.m. till about 12 noon. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you're looking for trader training, Sol is available. He takes you under his wing. He teaches you his methodology. He tunes you up. And then you come in here on a daily basis as a proving ground and an access point to him during the live market as you're applying your newfound trading skills. It's a great feature of the service that not only do you have somebody you can trade along with, you have somebody that can teach you based on the same methodology in the trade along. The other interesting thing here is that you receive Sol's from a trading advantage point of view. You're receiving Sol's proprietary scalping levels. He gave out his pivot and other levels on top and bottom of the pivot as posted in the chat area by Don. Hey, Dean, Edward. Hey, Greya, how you making out? Any questions? Kenneth, Marietta, let me know. Michael J. Hey, Philip, Richard. Yura. Hey, Zahul. My voice is a little choppy today. I had a little bit of a medical thing yesterday, and they went down my throat, and I think they rubbed it a few places. TradeAlongLive.com. TradeAlongLive.com is the entry into the Zoom webinar, this daily Zoom trade along. It is a subscription service for serious traders that are looking to bank their money during the morning session, and they're very interested in working with Sol's proprietary scalping levels from an educational point of view only. And trade along with Sol as you go through the morning session together. It's got a great following. I appreciate it. Join us, TradeAlongLive.com. Check out Sol's website, TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com. TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com. That's where you can review the various offers. You can sign up. If you missed out on today's offer, I'll post it now. This is an offer, a discounted offer, to be part of Sol's this session, the Trade Along Live session. If you want to upgrade from this session into Sol's mentoring, let us know. It's mentoring and training because it gives you access, free access to this service for a year, the Trade Along Live segment. So it's a great combo deal. It's like you go to the movie theater and you buy yourself a soda, you get a free popcorn, or it's probably buy a popcorn at the right size, right, and get a free soda. Here, if you do Sol's mentoring and his training, you have access to this service for a year. So it's a great way to get a freebie. So don't hesitate to talk to us personally and privately about it. First order of business here is to sign up for this Trade Along Live session. Look for the discount that I just gave out. Make sure you're signed up and moving forward. If you do get exited for non-participation, c'est la vie, that happens. So make sure that you are signed up, you're accounted for, and you're part of Sol's friends and family because you signed up. So I'll be in the background if anybody needs me. Again, we'll do this again tomorrow. In the afternoon session, Sol is working with traders in his mentoring and his training. Does it in a private Zoom room. So let us know if you want to join. Thank you. TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com. Thank you.